Greetings and welcome to FactionMasters Season 6, Game 7. Today's game will be the Shimmersea Fae, as played by TheBeastSlumbers, going up against the Mountain Vargath, played by Orange Lazarus. And I am joined for my commentary by TheBeastSlumbers. Welcome.
Hey, what's good? What's good, everyone?
So, the Shimmersea Fae, they are by some considered to be the weakest faction. They're the lowest seed, but you're one of the best players with them. So maybe you can walk me through what's going to be your game plan here, going up against the Mount Vargath.
Yeah, so myself, I'm usually an econ player, as a community would label it. I usually look for the best bang for my buck, and the Shimmersea Fae is a kind of faction that you really want to make that computation for. Problem with them is they have low life totals. As you notice, they don't have any 4 HP commons. They have amazing champions, Lyra in particular, and the Deepwater Sisters in general, but they don't really pack a lot of life. So holding the midline and punching from there, it's going to be tricky against the Mountain Vargath because these guys are a mean bunch. They've got brutes, they've got callers, they've got slingers that are going to be hard to get to. So you have to be a little bit crafty with your approach with the Shimmersea Fae facing these guys. Yeah, but in general, if I were to summarize my approach with the Shimmersea Fae, it'd have to be minimum force necessary. You really have to compute how much you get back from spending this much and that much and go from there, because otherwise you're going to lose a lot of material. There are players who play like that, play the Shimmersea Fae like a rush, clog your gates faction. I don't like that kind of play. I'm not that kind of player, so you're going to see a lot of that in this game.
Okay. Well, let's get started here. Mountain Vargath will be going first. Just a pretty simple move everybody up and try to kill that first Tidebringer. Get one gate down on the side.
Knocks it down.
And I do see that you've got a high tide in your opening hand.
Yeah.
Probably the best time to have it, right?
And a bunch of oracles, so I was thinking might as well get a draw off the oracle and then get that close to the brute. Put a swarm down on top of it so I get it back in my hand. It's not the type of unit you'd like to keep on the board. Usually you want to toss all your oracles. So here, High Tide is worthy of spending one magic on. Generally, you want to think about, don't just spend one just to get closer. People like to do that. But here, yeah, it's a good spot to be in.
It's nice to get a boost on Numira also to just kind of get the chain effect started here.
For sure. Yep. I luck out on killing the brute here, and here I summon the oracle in front of that gate so that it's harder to kill. I could have summoned it in front of the scout, but you really want to protect your gates as Shimmersea Fae. That's kind of where all the magic and shimmering happens.
Okay, Orange Lazarus answering back with another brute. And also a slinger. Let's see, is he going to focus the gate or the units? Probably can't, or could do some of both, but looks like he is going to give some attention to that gate.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not as much as I thought.
Kills that oracle.
Yeah.
I think that's the right choice, because you don't want to get swarmed on. Even though the gate is important, it'd be a tricky spot if he blows that gate up that turn. So he goes for all my units. Understandable. This spot is another tricky one. I kind of want to block Orange Lazarus's front gate spot here. Yeah, so you see me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Here you see me again. Minimum force necessary. I don't really want to spend my swarms, and I just want to spend a tiebreaker. And yep, my mirror gets the kill. Get a free swing on the gates.
I'm really interested to see if you save up for Corrales or just build him. Good time to use weight in for sure.
There was a Mountain Vargath game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weight in's perfect here. This was the Mountain Vargath game where I made good use of Corrales and pushed their gates back, but it's all right. This is not that game.
Okay.
Big turn.
Yeah,
Wants to blow up that gate.
I question the necessity of that, but maybe there's going to be a muster here to allow him to use that fourth attack. Or a marshal. I said muster. I should say marshal forces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caught me using the first edition
I
terminology
see the
again.
first edition player.
Yeah. Still do it. I still call their epic event fallback. So. Well, you had a Tidebringer survive. Yeah.
This is a good spot to make use of that, but I kind of go for a different plan here. Yeah, trying to get in his face. Would have been nice if I had a spearhead here to double up, triple up on Sunderved, but such luck.
It's good to
Okay.
it's good to take out the slingers too.
The slinger,
when you
yeah.
can. Yeah.
Absolutely. So here, there's a decision point. Actually, would people have swarmed to hit Sunderved for 2 dice or not? Generally speaking, to me, it's not a worthy investment. I like to save my magic, so you see me sit at 6 and stay threatening that way.
Yeah.
But I think some people would have swarmed there after the scout hit.
You can do a lot with 6 magic.
And
exactly. The swarm would have died just as much as that Tidebreaker did anyways, so it's not like you're saving your position there.
Yeah. Wade in doing a lot of work here.
Absolutely.
But Orange Lazarus responding in kind. Not really overcommitting anything here. Okay, this was actually one of the harder spots. I had to compute for a long time on this one. I had a bunch of things in my deck that I wanted to draw, and I knew that a scout was... That's one of the other things with the Shimmersea Fae that I feel like is understated. You have to card count sometimes. For me, there was a 1 in 12 chance, or like a 2 in 12 chance that I draw a gate, and then another that I draw a champion, or sometimes a tiebreaker, and then you have to think about, okay, what can I do if I draw this, if I draw that? So in a hand like this where it's all swarms, I needed options.
Yeah, being able to draw from the bottom as well as from the top of your deck. It's not just for getting your champions back. It's also for just getting more resources and burning through faster. But I mean, we're still pretty even in terms of what you've drawn through here. I really like your formation here, keeping Namira safe. Kind of clogging up this gate. Unfortunately, this scout looks a little stranded, but pretty ready to just get back into it.
Exactly.
Not much time notice. Let's see how Orange Lazarus responds on this turn.
This was a pretty brutal turn, if I remember correctly.
Ooh.
Yeah, Varn. There you go.
Varn can do some work, that's for sure, with the positioning.
Yeah.
Especially if you can marshal him.
Mm-hmm.
Which, the way he's positioned, it looks like he's gearing up to do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
there it is. Okay.
there you go. That's the second Marshal. And that, even though it hurts, trade 4 HP, it gives me some peace of mind that he doesn't have another Marshal.
Yeah.
So this was a brutal spot to be in. Very brutal spot to be in. Sunderved comfortable in the back, taller in front of my gate. Right.
The mirror at low
So,
life. Yeah.
uh, yeah, low life. Here, so before we play this turn, another decision point as a Shimmersea Fae is where you deploy your units. Because when you place a scout and you dredge or you draw, you can't take it back.
Mm-hmm.
So every Oracle position should be worth it. Every scout position should be final. Otherwise, it could be tricky. And the reason why I bring up that point is because I think I messed up on this one,
Okay.
and you're gonna see.
All right. Let's hit play and watch. So we dredge and we
Yeah,
pick something we wanted to summon in this spot.
and
Is I'm guessing. Oh, the gate.
the gate, which is a pretty good one. And I summoned that scout over there actually just to block Nightmare's flank on that
Mm-hmm.
side. I get some lucky hits here. Yeah, I think this is my luckiest turn, actually. The only good turn I could have
Yeah, the ability to
had.
kill and then replace is pretty good, and dealing a lot of damage on
Mhm.
Varn too. Taking down more than half of his life.
Yeah,
Oh, the spearhead. Just to
the
really
spearhead
make
just for
sure,
Vaughn.
can you get the 3 out of 4?
Mhm.
There it is.
Yep, there you go.
And get
A one-turn Varn.
the boosts going. Yeah. Well, he soaked up a lot of
Mhm.
damage.
Yeah, it's true. I think Lazarus burned all of his strongholds because he thinks that the Shimmersea Fae would just be in front of him
Hmm.
all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to see. I was fearing it, I was dreading it, but it never really happened to me. So clears out my board like so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult when your board keeps getting cleared out and you have to
Uh,
start from scratch.
mhm. And if you notice, I'm like 10 cards left in my deck and still no chance.
Yeah, you've been drawing from the top and the bottom. It's a very
Really.
unfortunate
And the bottom, nothing. Yeah.
position to be in.
But here I just poke a little bit and I decide to invest on hitting Thunderved, not with a swarm, interestingly. I want to keep my gun loaded, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and swing on
Well,
Thunderved
so
for
I mean,
another
6 out of
lucky
6 swords.
4 for 4.
That's getting him low enough that he's gonna
Mean.
have to be more protective than
Mm-hmm.
he's been. Even using the glory
Right.
collar to pull him back a little, but also to put
Back
the
out.
brute
Yeah.
in that spot. It's a very deft move there.
Yep. And this one's pretty scary, actually. I lucked out on this
A
one,
lot of
but
dice on
what do you
Namira.
do?
It
That
looks
was
like, yeah, 5 swords and 3
Mhm.
bows. It could be.
Yep. Good odds. Good odds. Lands the
Especially after
melee,
hitting him on the first one.
and mm-hmm.
Oh boy. And the slinger whiffs. Okay.
Really. And here is where I thank God for some mercy. But here's where I throw my scales a little bit. And you're gonna see the econ player in me.
Okay.
Most people would look at this spot and probably respond in a more aggressive manner.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I was thinking about this turn is I still want to keep my gun loaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't want to spend. I think this is my last swarm, so I don't want to blow it on some random common. I want to keep my combo in hand because I don't really have to. I don't have anything to spend it on here.
Somehow the Deepwater Sisters
So
are two of your last 3 cards.
for the 3 of the last cards, yeah. So it's a rough game, man. But I'm glad I lasted this long. Yeah, we can go ahead and play
Okay,
from here.
let's see how it goes. Oracle to draw, maybe get one.
Yeah. Mhm. It's gonna be a simple turn. Nothing flashy.
Okay.
Just me being me. Nymera not spending that boost. There's a crafty play here, and I'll tell you later why I
Okay.
do this. Yep, just take a simple swing at the fighter, clear it out. Here, Tidebreaker swings at the fighter, and that's a crucial piece of the clever play later.
Okay.
Okay, simple swing on the scout. Nothing fancy. I don't play anything here. And I discard my last oracle.
Okay, we're seeing the other battle leader from Orange Lazarus.
Yep. A defensive battle leader, I think.
It's just so he can move
just
it.
to close the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see
Is
if he
that my
goes
gate?
for
No
the
dice.
gate or the scout. The gate will last then.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that was rough. And he does a stronghold.
There's a stronghold. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting because he probably could have fallen back elsewhere other than there. But
Now, do you think
you notice that fighter is low.
Yes, this fighter is low.
What?
Do you think? I'm sorry to interrupt your thought here. Do you think he was not safe where he was? He seemed like he was pretty safe. There's no more spearhead to get him on the diagonal. Some big beefy brutes blocking the way. Maybe
he definitely missed the fact that Nymera could kill the fighter.
Yeah.
And place a gate down.
I think I see. I think I see what's starting to happen here.
Exactly.
There could be an ambush
classic, coming. That's the classic play. But if I had one more scout here in this turn, it would have been a different game. If that scout had lived and he didn't have anything to respond with, it could have been different. Maybe what I could have done better is hide that last scout instead of having it in the firing range of that.
The slinger that was here.
Yeah. So if I had that in my back pocket, I would have been able to close this one out because you'll see the turn that follows.
Yeah, just one more. Because then we could have had Inara hit and then the swarm hit twice.
Exactly.
Not quite enough magic to do that, but if you summon the scout and it got the kill, I guess then you're losing an attack. So it's all right. Well, we'll watch.
Well, more specifically, you can see.
We'll watch it play out here. Saving that boost for later. Yeah. Go ahead.
Keep that Nymera loaded.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. If I had a scout available to do that move, I could have played the scout here, and then that scout would have hit Sunderbed, and that's how it goes.
Oh, the last die didn't get it. So close.
Yep. So close. That's my raid at that gate.
Wow, what an ending! Right? He'll finish you off with a brute ram. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a valiant effort, but
wow. Yeah. Well, wow. They came very close. Came down to the dice.
Sometimes that's how it is.
Yeah.
Yep. And no champions. If I had
Yeah.
champions, I probably could have done cleverer plays, but sometimes that's the thing with the Shimmersea Fae. You don't draw gates until late. You don't draw
Yeah.
champs until late, etc., etc. So you really have to make every move count.
You would
Every
think.
magic expenditure, every health on the
Yeah.
board, it needs to count.
This little sun symbol here, I've noticed
Ah,
means you get a lot more card draw, and
yeah.
even sometimes some deck manipulation. So
Hmm.
the Shimmersea Fae can deck out faster than almost anybody, but if you do it
Oh yeah,
too recklessly, then you run out of resources. So
you burn out. Yeah,
yeah.
but it's a different play style. Generally, they can do that.
Hmm.
The people who are for that play style argue that if you play aggressive and you crowd your opponent, then you force them to burn as much just to counter your tempo.
Hmm.
So I can see why, the my economy playstyle doesn't really work. If I just use it against every matchup, some
Hmm.
matchups really demand that you go hard, you go fast. But I just for this one, I couldn't go toe to toe with Orange Lazarus' Mountain Vargath. Um, yeah, I think I played my best there though. That's some solace.
Yeah, it was really entertaining. We're all better off for
Uh,
getting to watch it and listen to your insights. I appreciate that.
oh yeah, for sure. And I guess just the last word that I'm gonna leave out here is I think I said this once on someone's stream. I forget who, but when you guys were playing the Shimmersea Fae, think about how you can control where the fight is happening as well. Because sometimes when you're not drawing your gate, you have two ranged commons. You have the Scout and you have the Oracle. Oracle is a free ranged unit that can just take a pot shot. And if you don't leave too many targets out on the board, your enemy has no choice but to come to you. And from there, you can punch them like a mantis shrimp, just punch them back on with a big whoop as the counter offensive. So if you don't get what you want, you have time. Time, spend as little resources as you can without burning out. Think about the economic perspective. You can play these guys like that. These guys are as good on the offensive, and I would argue if people play them more economically, they're also good on the counter offensive. So
All
that's
right.
it.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. And thank you to all our viewers. We will see you guys next time for more Faction Masters.